O'Reilly Factor, the #1 cable news show for 15 years and counting.
Thanks for staying with us. I'm Bill O'Reilly. In the Factor follow-up segment tonight, the minority vote. 2012, Mitt Romney captured 6% of the black vote. President Obama, 93%. That's a huge advantage for the Democrats, obviously. Writing in USA Today on March 3rd, Tavis Smiley said, quote, "If Donald Trump is indeed the Republican nominee, it might be a miscalculation for Democrats to take for granted that black voters are a lock for their nominee," unquote. Mr. Smiley, the author of a brand new book called 50 for Your Future, Lessons from Down the Road. He joins us now. So I was surprised when I read your USA Today column. I know you're no fan of Mr. Trump.
Nope.
But why do you think that blacks would give him Mr. Trump or Ted Cruz or John Kasich a look?
A couple of things. One, I'm tired of black folk being taken for granted by one party, being ignored by the other party, number one. Number two, I did write that in fairness before Donald Trump just completely lost his mind and became the sort of racial arsonist at setting fires everywhere he goes.
What you called him a racial arsonist on your show and just repeated that. What comment set you off? What did he say?
You're off the air at 8:50. You ain't got enough time for me to run the list of all. Oh, come on, Bill.
Just give me one.
You're wasting good television time, Bill. His anti-immigrant stance, his anti-Muslim stance, his maltreating and that of his supporters, the maltreating of African Americans in the audiences at these ralies. Don't ask a silly question. You know better.
It's not silly.
It is silly.
If you look at the context, of, and I'm not defending Donald Trump's policies, the folks can decide that. But if you look at the context of protecting American from a flood of immigrants that come in here illegally, and also Muslim refugees who are not vetted very well, as the FBI director said he couldn't do. It's not an attack on a race that he's doing. It's a policy. It's hard. It's harsh, but it's policy.
It's not just harsh, Bill. He's painting with a broad brush, and it has the tone of xenophobia with it when he does that. If I were going to take Dylan Roof, the unrepentant Dylan Roof, who walked into that black church in South Carolina, and use that example to paint every white male in America, you wouldn't like that. And that's what Donald Trump does with Muslims with Hispanics.
But there wouldn't be any policy around Dylan Roof. What I'm disturbed at when you say
I hate crime is against the law. That is a policy, Bill.
But there isn't a policy that connects to the nation. When you use the word racial arsonist, okay, that conjures up to me David Duke and these kinds of people who their sole reason for being is to run down blacks or Hispanics or Muslims or whatever.
And it took Mr. Trump
He's not that way.
It took Mr. Trump too long to come around to denouncing David
Travis,
Duke and others when they came out to support and the robocalls.
You make mistakes, and so do I. That doesn't mean...
Bill, that's not a mistake. That's not a mistake. Listen, you live your life...
I've known the man for a long time. I've never seen him do anything racial.
You live your life by a certain set of immutable principles. I live my life by a certain set of immutable principles. And when you live your life by a certain set of principles, there are some mistakes you just don't make. It's fundamentally who you are. And this election is fundamentally about what kind of nation we're going to be.
All I can tell you is I've known the man a long time, and I've never seen him cast aspersions at any group at all. You
might not have seen it, but the rest of the country has during this campaign.
I've been around him much more than the rest of the country.
But here's the problem. We're watching one Donald Trump on the news every day. We watch him live on network television every day. And everybody who knows Donald Trump keeps saying to me and to all your viewers, but that ain't the Donald I know. Well, which Donald
I don't know whether...
Who's the real Donald? Will the real Donald stand up?
I can't answer the question. I can just tell you what I know.
Should we elect someone who we think we know but really don't know?
That is what they asked about Barack Obama. And the exact question.
The difference was this. The difference was that Barack Obama campaigned to all of America. I think that any person who does not campaign to all of America ought to be automatically dismissed and disqualified.
Okay, but that's your opinion.
You want to be president for the entire... No, it's not my opinion.
Sure it is.
Okay, back up. It is my opinion,
right,
but it ought to be yours. And here's my point. If you want to be president of the entire country...
I'm not involved. I don't like the divisiveness either, all right? And I
campaign to the entire country,
challenge everybody.
Not one slice of it.
Okay, but you know, if you want to have that standard of behavior, Hillary Clinton and Bernie Sanders are divisive as well. They're not campaigning for pro-life people. They don't respect pro-life people. And that's just one example. I give you 1,000.
Trump has his opinions. They have their opinions. I'm not talking about opinions.
Yeah, but you're talking about you don't want to be divisive.
I'm talking about running a segregated campaign. If you want to be president of the entire country, then you ought to campaign to everybody.
Trump would tell you he wants wants Hispanic votes and he wants black votes.
They will say that, but has Ted Cruz campaigned in Black America? Has he campaigned in Hispanic America?
He is Hispanic.
Exactly.
He's a Cuban.
But has he gone after the Hispanic vote with a real policy program?
Of course Again, not. I'm not on their campaign teams, but when I see them saying we want a good economy,
that's for everyone. That's talk.
We're running out of time, and I don't want to because you have a good book. All right, it's 50 for your future. It's lessons. In this book, you say that, and we only is a short answer,
sure.
And I'll give if you want to come back because we spent a lot of time on this.
Sure.
You say to people, look, if you have a certain philosophy of life and somebody is intruding on that, making you feel bad, walk away. Right? That's one of your lessons here in this book.
I'm not sure I put it quite like that.
Well, that's the essence of it. If it's somebody's really taking you away from your life experience.
What I'm arguing is you got to be your authentic self and live your life on your own terms. You can't transcend who you are for the sake of pleasing other people.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this book is basically a philosophy, and again, I owe you a segment on it, a philosophy about how to be happy.
How to live a better life.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Tavis, always a pleasure to have you. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
And an update on the Wisconsin vote after these messages.